is the Farm Journal, where we engage on matters agribusiness. My name is Fred Makori. Experts have argued on the origin of French beans, but most agree that it originates from Central and Southern America. Going by its botanical name Phaceolus vulgaris, the French bean was first domesticated in Peru about 6,000 years ago. It grows in the form of a bush that can reach up to 20 inches long. It flowers and produces bean pods, which are the edible part of the plant. They can be grown round the year with the aid of irrigation. There are about 130 varieties of the bean, but in Kenya, Samantha, Picasso, Buffalo, Morgan, Boston, among a few others, are the varieties you will come across. French beans are propagated through seeds planted directly to the field. You will require 25 to 30 kilograms of seeds per acre. It is advised that you plant single rows, one seed per hole, spacing them at 30 by 15 centimeters. But for double rows, then the spacing becomes 60 by 30 centimeters. For easy management, plant blocks of 4 single rows or 2 double rows with a 50 centimeter path in between. French beans grow well at an altitude of 1,000 to 2,100 meters above sea level. The beans mature faster in warm regions. The ideal growing temperature range between 21 and 27 degrees centigrades. French beans require well-distributed rainfall of 900 to 1,200 millimeters per year. Excess rains and prolonged drought result in poor yield. And they grow well on well-drained, rich in organic matter soils that are slightly acidic to alkaline with a pH value of 6.5 to 7.5. French beans are nutritious and have many benefits, among them being: they help in fetal development when eaten during pregnancy. They prevent premature aging. They enhance bone health. They enhance heart health. They improve eyesight. They are rich in dietary fiber, which is essential in body fat regulation. They are a source of vitamin A, B, D, and K. French beans take 45 to 60 days to mature before harvesting can commence. For tasty bean pods, harvest the young pods 2 to 3 times in a week. This not only gives the best bean, but also encourages production. An acre can produce up to 6 tons. It is advised that you rotate the crop with crops that do not belong to the legume family. This helps in weed control, reduction of soil erosion, rejuvenation of soil organic matter, pests and disease management. Pests to look out for are bean fly, thrips, aphids, red spider mites, white flies, African bollworms, cutworms, and diseases such as rust, downy mildew, bacterial blight. In Kenya, French beans grow well and are farmed in Nakuru, Nyandarua, Kajiado, Kiambu, Murang'a, Machakos, Kisumu, Uasin Gishu, Kirinyaga, Nyeri, Embu counties. This week, the Wheels of the Farm Journal bring us out here at Juja Farm area, where we are in the farm known as Tugi Fresh Growers Farm, run by Naomi and her partner Mary. They are going to be taking us through their business of farming French beans. And in case you're wondering where Victoria is, she's not here with me, but she's out there exploring the markets for you, and we'll be linking up with her a bit later. Asante sana kwa kutukaribisha kwa shamba lako. So leo tumekuja tujifundishe kuhusu farming hapa kidogo kwa shamba lako. One thing that probably penye tutaanzia, it's just a brief introduction, tujue wewe ni nani, majina, na probably something small about yourself.
My name is Naomi Mwangi in Juja Farm. This is where we farm. The farm is known as Tugi Fresh Growers. We mainly produce French beans, normally for export. But we are contracted farmers by a particular exporter.
And how did you get into this business of farming? Could you tell us a bit of backstory from that?
I work for a seed company, been there for quite some time, and having interacted with quite a number of farmers, I realized this is a good venture that I can get into on the side, not full time. So I was motivated by one of my farmers from Loitoktok, who I sold to 1 kilo of onions. The next time this gentleman comes to the office to purchase some more products, he came driving, and I thought, wow, why not venture into this? So I scouted for land, and yeah, here we are.
That's how you got into now the farming.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit of your journey in farming? Take us through when you started and till you got to where you are today.
Initially, I started with 1 acre of land. Leased to by my partner. She will be coming later on, and I leased this part of land, which was 1 acre initially, and I did bullet chilies, which did quite well. But again, we had quite a number of challenges, and that's how we even came up to partner with the lady who had leased me land that we should be meeting thereafter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so after that, what continued? I mean, what did you do from there going forward?
When I was doing the chilies, you realize I'm working, and on the side, I was doing more of telephone farming, where you call and you ask, okay, have you done spraying, have you watered, and all this, and you realize you lose so much. So, and my partner, then she could observe all this because she's the one who had leased me the piece of land, and she would really feel for me because I'm sending money. I'm being told today we have 5 guys at the farm. Maybe there is nobody who showed up. And I would end up pumping money, and we were losing. So she approached me, and we decided, yeah, since she's based here, we could partner, and she, oversees the whole project. And yeah, that's how Tugi Fresh was born.
All right, and then now you came into partnership. And now tell me a bit about how you decided now you want to farm French beans.
For French beans, mainly at my workplace, I was working closely with exporters. And I would visit quite a number of farmers doing export crops, the French beans, peas, and stuff like that. And I thought it's a good venture because one, it comes in early. Of course, there is so much details to go into a successful crop and getting good yields. But I thought this would be the best because you don't need to put it into the nursery and all that. Within 55 to 60 days, you have a ready crop.
And so you decided now French beans would be the best place to go.
Yeah.
Going back a bit to where you started, how did you raise your initial capital to get started in the farming business?
At first, I had to, the little savings that I had, first for leasing the land, and then, of course, basically I funded from my pocket. Yeah, no aid at all, just small savings.
If you could just put together maybe an arbitrary figure, what was it that got you started? How long did you save? How much did you have to save? And what did you do with that initial investment that got you going now in the farming?
Initially, I had leased land for 2 acres. I mean, an acre for 2 years. And that was around 30K by then, because 1 year would be around 15,000. So for land, the cost was around 30,000. And of course, now the cost of seed and everything and the whole cost of production was amounting to around 70,000. So I started roughly with 100K. But that was on the chilies. Yeah.
Okay, now you grew and you got to
Yeah.
the place where now the partnership came in.
Yeah.
Now tell me the transition, how that transition took place now that you got into this partnership.
My partner, Mary, as I mentioned earlier, she had leased me the 1 acre. So, and then she had 2.5 acres. In total, she had 3 acres. So we thought, why? Because also marketing the chilies was becoming a little bit difficult because of some, regulations with with the buyers and stuff. There's some standards that we needed to meet. So for chili, growing is a bit strict, not as French beans farming. So we agreed, because she had 1.5 acre plus the 1 acre she had leased me, we thought of combining efforts and we roll out the French beans. So we started with 1 acre. Actually, I remember this is the first part that we did the French bean at first, which did very well. Then we kept on going, and we have never looked back.
Did you, like, what was the term of engagement? You see, now when you get into when you're doing it alone, you just put money together and make all the decisions and you roll.
Yeah.
But now when somebody else comes into the picture, then there are some of the things that you have to put in place to ensure that that partnership is standing. So what are some of the things that you put in place to ensure that it's working for you as you started?
One, I think first it was the issue of trust at first, because you see, initially when doing the chilies, I wasn't here, and then she could really come to the farm and see what was not going right, and she would really empathize with me, who wasn't here. So I would say trust at first brought us together. Then we had to open up a business, and that's where we started Tugi. So we are both co-owners of Tugi Fresh Growers. So it wasn't just my inception. We both came together, and that's how Tugi Fresh was born. So both of us are equal shareholders into this. So it's not Naomi only. If it fails, Mary comes down as well.
How has it worked for you since then? Now, do you see it working better? Has it changed to the better, or how is it over the years now?
I can say the growth pattern has been incredible, because she's been overseeing all this. She's the one who knows when we need to do the weeding, everything about the farm and the crop management. So she's here. My bit, I'll figure out how we fund more or how we market our products. So that's my strength. And she's normally on the operations bit. So we sort of complement each other.
And also now in this farm, obviously there are people that help you to work in the farm. How do you go about identifying what are the needs in terms of labor that you have, and how do you go about recruiting such people?
For us, we are still growing. So for now, we just have 2 contracted casuals. We have 2 gentlemen. Mostly they do a lot of the manual work at the farm, the labor-intensive kind of work. But when we need weeding done, we have some women who come around here. So we every time we hire between 10 to 15.
How do you identify that these ones, am I just randomly here?
You see, this part of Juja Farm is known for, farming. So most of these women, they've been doing French beans. They work in French beans farms. So it's not a big challenge when we are bringing in some labor, because they've had experience over time.
How is your working relationship with them? How do you ensure they're motivated to give you the best of their service?
I would say relationships. We have good relationships with my staff. The 2 guys that have been here, they've been here for quite some time. So yeah, how we interact with them, how we handle them. We also give them, food. other than the French beans, you can say, we also have veggies. So they don't buy vegetables out there. They get everything from the farm. My partner is also into dairy farming, so we give them milk. So yeah, we're not just looking at them working for us, we also give out to them.
All right, and so over the years you've seen that they've been loyal and they are working to the best of their ability. Okay, we're going to take a short break at this moment, but when we come back, we're going to meet Naomi's partner and we're going to continue with this discussion.